प्लेइंग इट माय वे, सचिन तेंदुलकर की आत्मकथा आ रही है। लॉन्च कार्यक्रम था आज। तमाम बड़े चेहरे वहां मौजूद थे, तमाम बड़ी हस्तियां, सचिन के पुराने साथी, उनकी पत्नी, उनके भाई, सब मौजूद थे वहां पर। और वहां सबको पता चला सचिन के बारे में कुछ ऐसा जो अब तक लोग नहीं जानते थे। जी हां, ऐसा भी बहुत कुछ है और बहुत दिलचस्प है। देखिए।
We were playing in Guwahati, and I was batting with Dada. Shoaib bowls a short pitch ball where, about 5-7 feet away from me, it swings a little bit and gets in my rib cage. And I'm struggling, honestly. I mean, I only discovered later that I had fractured my rib. And I'm recovering, and Dada is saying, "Tu champion hai re, tu champion." I said, I can't talk. So I'm struggling to talk. I've broken my rib. And he's saying, "Tu champion hai, tu khelega." I said, "Let me recover."
He was my roommate in
14.
the MRF Base Academy. Trust me, he was. And I still remember on that Mount Road in Chennai, we two never seen each other, and he used to walk in the night. And the first night, two separate beds, and he was
Sorry,
sleeping.
we were roommates because you didn't want to sleep alone.
Whatever.
I was scared.
Whatever. Now, in those days, we didn't get single rooms. And it's an honest confession. And, one night I just saw him. He got up from his bed, walked around his room and came back to sleep. So I thought he must have gone to the toilet because I myself was half asleep, so I'd let it go. The next night I saw the same thing again. And I asked him that night, I said, "What's happening?" He says, "Yeah, I have this issue." So I used to be awake for the rest of the night.
Again, that time, Dada was my room partner. And this time, again, he was sleeping. And I was practicing my drills at night because I was going to bat the next day. I stayed awake, till almost 2:30 in the night. And I was thinking about how I'm going to bat the next day. And standing in front of the mirror, I was practicing, doing my own things. And I didn't realize that Dada was awake quietly watching me. So the next morning,
Tell me, how could you
I was
sleep?
sleepy next morning.
I'll just interrupt. How could you sleep when all the lights in your room was on and somebody was practicing? All you had to do was to close your eyes and wait for him to sleep.
ये तो किस्से हैं ही। सचिन और अंजलि तेंदुलकर, उनकी पत्नी की मुलाकात कैसे हुई, पहले बात कैसे हुई, वो कहानी भी सुनाई वहां अंजलि तेंदुलकर ने खुद।
17. I mean, he's a 17-year-old kid.
Okay, I didn't know he was 17 or what.
He looked 12.
I didn't even know who he was.
You didn't know who he was?
I didn't know. My friend is here, Aparna. She was with me when I went.
And she said, "Shh, Sachin."
No. She told me, "Don't you know this is the wonder boy of Indian cricket?" And
Wonder boy.
He's just scored 100, youngest Indian to score 100. I didn't care what he was, who he was. I had no interest in cricket. I saw him. I thought he was really cute.
I didn't have any interest in medicine either.
And I ran after him.
And you ran after him. Did you just say that? Did I just hear you say that?
We were in those days at the airport. There was a viewing gallery, so I was actually looking for my mum, who was supposed to have landed from England.
Oh, you planned it that way?
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
I just saw him and I told Aparna, "Who's this guy? He's so cute." And then I forgot about my mother. We ran down and I ran after him like screaming, "Sachin, Sachin." Yeah, it's so cute.
You forgot about your mother. She's sitting there. Did she forget about you?
The funny thing is, Ajit and Nitin were there with him, and Sachin was so embarrassed that this girl is, running after me and screaming my name. So he was only looking down. He didn't even look at me. He quietly looked down and got into the car.
The only thing I looked was the color of her t-shirt.
Which was orange.
Which he remembered when I met him for the first time.
And I thought you were going to wear orange today. And then you picked up the phone and called him.
Well, now
It was just
I was studying medicine. I was in my final year, so I go to college the next day, and by then I had been told he's a cricketer. And my friend Mufi, he was studying medicine with me, but he also used to play cricket. I caught him. I said, "Mufi, you have to do one thing for me in this. You have to get me this Sachin Tendulkar's number." So his cousin was their mother. He got me the number, and see, this is what I say is destiny. I called Sachin, and Sachin never used to pick up the phone. In those days, there were no mobiles, nothing. But that day, he picked up the phone. And I said, "Hi, my name is Anjali. You don't know who I am. I saw you at the airport yesterday and all." He said, yeah, I remember, I saw you. I said, what was I wearing? He said, yeah, you were wearing an orange t-shirt. So then I know that, yes, he had
How you
noticed
know I
me.
said orange?
Before the World Cup, I think 99 World Cup, I happened to be in Brighton there. And I had read some time back that there were some 3 English players who had gone to a restaurant and ordered duck. And next day, I think all 3 got out on 0.
So that was the reason I was not allowed to have duck. You can't
So
have
it
duck.
was playing on my mind, and I was suggesting all different types of dishes that go for this. Why not go for this? This must be more tasty, but it just didn't happen. But fortunately, he did not get out on 0. Scored some 30 odd runs.
I was batting, first day I was batting 55 or 60 something. I said, I'm batting well and everything has gone well. I'm not going to change anything. So I went for a nice meal. I said, let's go out so I don't stay in the room. So my mind is not constantly thinking about how I'm going to bat tomorrow because I needed to switch off a little bit, back off a little bit. So we went for a nice Malaysian meal and beautiful, delicious curry and fried rice and all sorts of things came on the table and all that. Next day I was batting 160
Plenty.
or something like that. So I said, Ajit, we are not deciding where we have to go. We are going for Malaysian. We are not going anywhere else. So the second evening also we ended up going there. And I was again, batting. I scored 241 whatever. I said, but second innings I still have to bat. So let's go there. We ended up going 3 times. And then the last time actually the waiter just looked at us. He said, I know what to get. Don't worry.
आमतौर पर सचिन विवादों से दूर रहे, खेलते वक्त तो उनके पूरे करियर में विवादों से दूर रहे, लेकिन ये ग्रेग चैपल वाले विवाद का उन्होंने इस किताब में जिक्र भी किया है। बाकी दिग्गज खिलाड़ियों ने उस पर क्या कहा, देखिए।
During 2006, it was definitely the toughest period for me as far as the dressing room atmosphere is concerned.
Sachin, you write in the book about saying that you didn't want Chappell with you in the 2007 World Cup. You've mentioned in the book that you would have been better off if you'd not been there in the 2007 World Cup.
Yeah, I've written that in my book, and the only reason I felt was I agree with Lakshman that the atmosphere could have been better. It wasn't a healthy atmosphere. The atmosphere has to be such in the dressing room where it brings the best out of you in the middle, and I felt that wasn't happening, and then the environment was very negative, I felt, and it was just a downfall from there on. So I thought maybe, if we travel without that, it would definitely change the atmosphere in the dressing room. And I also said that we senior players are willing to take all the responsibility and will manage the team.
There were some really good moments and there were some tough moments. And 2007, for me, especially as a captain, was a really tough moment. It was a really difficult time as well for me, just in terms of not qualifying for the World Cup. But I guess 7 years later, when you move on from a lot of these things, you realize that there are also some pretty good times that you've had, and there are some ups and there's some downs, and that's the way sport is, and that's the way I guess life is.
So Saurav, when only one of you had to open the batting in one-day cricket, how did you resolve that? When only one of you could go out to open the batting?
It was he who had to open. I had to bat somewhere else. And I've done that 3, 4, 5. He would open and I bat somewhere else.
Yeah, I batted a couple of times. I batted 4, right?
Yes, we did. I have done as well. He's done as well.
You had to always take strike also.
But one good thing is that I had
Always to take strike as well.
I did one thing. I remember taking strike. I wasn't scoring runs, so I came up and told him, Sach, can you take strike? I'm just struggling just to change the luck. 2 or 3 games. He said, no, I never done that. You do it. So I said, fine, I'll do it. I was captain then. I was the only captain.
मेरा तो वैसे ही रन नहीं हो रहा था दादा,
I was the
तो
only
मेरे को लगा कि
captain.
मैं वहीं पे खड़ा रहूं.
I was the only captain who had to ask from my players, can I do this? And no, it's true. We both walked out. I was pretty annoyed. I said, come on, for one day you can do it. But I didn't say anything. We walked up. We both went past each other, and I just went and stood at the non-striker end. and then just find your place wherever you want to bat. So he went into guard at the other end and played the first ball.
There is a reference in the book to him batting at 3 or 4 in the warm-up games and expressing a desire to open the batting in the main World Cup.
Is it who's Sachin's desire? It's always been the desire. And any time you asked him to bat at 4, he will tell you, I'll do it, but I'm better off opening.
But you let him bat at 4 in the NatWest Trophy.
Yeah, I did a few times and we requested him. Even in the World Cup, till Anil came, in the practice matches, we had decided that he'll bat at number 4. Till Anil came before the start of the tournament and said, if we have to do well, we need runs at the top. And he felt that the best way was to get him to open, and that's when we decided that we'll open. John Wright was there with his tongue half out, still not agreeing to it that he should open. But he opened and he had a great World Cup. Then I saw him in the under-17 in Kanpur, where he got 175. And what stood out for me was the bat he used. And how old was he then? About 15? 15 or 16? And it's one of the heaviest...
Well, if you were 15, he was 15, I mean.
Yeah, one of the heaviest cricket bats. One of the heaviest cricket bats I've seen ever. And you can understand, you grow up and we heard about Clive Lloyd or the West Indians use heavy bats. But at the age of 15 to pick such a heavy bat, it was a Pakistani bat, Isan, if I still remember. To pick that bat and bring it down was really, really special.
लेकिन शायद सबसे दिलचस्प जो किस्से हैं किताब में वो हैं सचिन की बचपन की कहानियां, उनकी शैतानियां। वो देखते हैं आगे।
मुंबई में तेंदुलकर परिवार साहित्य सहवास में रहा करते थे। सचिन बहुत छोटे थे और उनके घर के आसपास कंस्ट्रक्शन का काम चल रहा था। वहीं फैले रेत के बीच सचिन एक गड्ढा बना देते थे और उसे अखबार या किसी और चीज से ढक दिया करते थे और किसी न किसी बहाने लोगों को वहां तक लेके आते थे। और जब कोई सचिन के इस शैतानियों का शिकार बनते थे तो वो जोर जोर से हंसते थे।
सचिन साहित्य सहवास में 4थे माले पर रहते थे और उनकी तमाम शैतानियों में से एक थी 4थे माले से नीचे जा रहे लोगों पर पानी फेंकना। इन शैतानियों के बाद शिकायतें घर पहुंचती थी, लेकिन सचिन बाज नहीं आते थे।
सचिन खुद बताते हैं कि बचपन में वो अपने दोस्तों के साथ पड़ोसियों के घर के दरवाजे बाहर से बंद करते थे। आज जब सचिन उन्हीं शैतानियों को सोचते हैं तो उन्हें शर्मिंदगी महसूस होती है।
सबसे मजेदार किस्सा है सचिन की साइकिल का। उनके सारे दोस्तों के पास साइकिल थी सिवाय सचिन के, लिहाजा उन्होंने अपने माता पिता से शर्त लगाई कि जब तक वे उन्हें साइकिल लाकर नहीं देते वे नीचे खेलने नहीं जाएंगे। पूरे 7 दिन तक सचिन अपनी बालकनी से नीचे ताकते रहे और खेलने नहीं गए। सचिन बच्चे थे और नीचे ताकने की इसी कोशिश में उन्होंने अपना सिर बालकनी के ग्रिल के बीच फंसा लिया। पूरे 30 मिनट की मशक्कत और ढेर सारा तेल सिर पर उड़ेलने के बाद ही उनकी माँ उनका सिर ग्रिल से बाहर निकाल पाई।
सचिन की यह हालत उनके पिताजी से नहीं देखी जा रही थी और उन्होंने सचिन के लिए एक नई साइकिल खरीद कर दे दी। लेकिन सचिन की ये खुशी कुछ घंटों के लिए ही थी। सचिन अपने नई साइकिल में पूरे जोश में थे और सामने था एक सब्जी वाला। फिर क्या था, सचिन समय पर ब्रेक नहीं लगा सके। सचिन के दाहिने आंख के नीचे एक गहरी चोट आई और साइकिल की हालत कुछ अच्छी नहीं थी।
सचिन तेंदुलकर